Beth just said goodbye to her polka dot heels.
Goodbye?
She sold them on Mercari to Shelley, who gladly said
hello.
Just after she said goodbye to a set of bright orange cookware.
Really, Mom? Citrus?
They sold quickly on Mercari to Dan.
Oh, these are groovy.
Then Dan sold his rollerblades on Mercari.
Bye-bye. I bike now.
Which took us back to where we started with Beth, who said,
hello, rollerblades. Whee!
Buy and sell almost anything from home with Mercari, your marketplace. Find it on the app stores or Mercari.com.
You can't hear what happened. Because Sean was being rude.
Oh, okay.
And directing Cedric to be rude alongside of it. And fucking stepping on my motherfucking words. I'm done scripting out my shit. If I can't deliver my lines, I'm not scripting shit anymore.
And we are back for another episode of The Cray.
Yes.
Here I am, Sean Chase, with my co-stars and partners in crime, Rob Weiss and O'Neal McKnight. And we got a pretty solid episode today. Are you guys not co-stars? What are you?
Co-host.
I'm a co-host.
You're so television oriented.
Yeah.
You're so everything we use about
so
like
Hollywood.
movies,
I try.
and
So
TV.
Hollywood. I try.
Yeah, we got a great show. We got Cedric the Entertainer in the building.
He's
Amazing.
fucking awesome.
Legend
Fucking
status.
hilarious. We got
legend status.
Charlotte McKinney. Supermodel,
Amazing.
super actress, superhuman,
Yes.
great person.
Yo, so listen, man. This guy right here needs no real introduction, but I'm going to introduce him anyway. Cedric the Entertainer's in the house.
Yes, sir.
All right, that's it. That's good. That's that's simple.
That's simple, right? That was good.
Yeah, you get right to it.
Yeah. I got to do it again. That was it.
They're all hiding, man. You must have fucking nailed it, bro.
Oh, okay. 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 Good.
You're one take O'Neal.
One take O'Neal.
Take O'Neal.
First and foremost, Cedric, I want to thank you for coming down here, man, and rocking with us.
Yeah, man.
We've been doing this for like 20 seconds, and to have somebody of your caliber here.
But people think we've been doing it for at least 3 minutes.
Yeah. I checked it out. Y'all list is pretty serious. I mean, like the people that you send over to my publicist to get clearance. Even though I've been knowing O'Neal many years, I was like, hit my people, O'Neal. But y'all sent over pretty nice little.
We want real
hard.
conversations. You know what I mean? And people who have shit to say. I think we could eat up a lot of time on a bunch of social media kids. You know what I mean?
All right, for
but
sure.
I think we'd rather have something that speaks to a lot of people and a little bit of impact.
Of course.
Other than my dumbass stories.
And talking about social media, I can personally say Cedric is one of the realest cats I met in the game. Excuse me. I worked with a bunch of people, styled a bunch of people, and I met Cedric in New York at 10 June when the meatpacking district was popping, and he was there with Anthony Anderson. And cut to, he hit me on Twitter. He sent me a message on Twitter and was like, "Dog, I like your style. He probably remember this. I like your style. I want to get at you." And he sent his information. I was like, ain't no way in hell this is like the real Cedric the Entertainer. And I'm on La Cienega. I dialed the number. He's like, "What up, dog? This said, man. I got this show coming up. We barbers and battling and this and that. And, I'm going to connect you with the Whoop Wop, the Whoop Swanee and this and that." And I was like, what just happened? I woke up. I was on set with Cedric the Entertainer. And
what was that on? What show?
It was a show called
CW on the CW on called Barbershop Battle. Like it was Barber Battle. Yeah.
But you were in Barbershop the film too.
Exactly. Which was like kind of the how I ended up doing that in the first place. Yeah, exactly.
But it was just crazy that a lot of these celebrities are so high maintenance. They don't even try to get at people themselves, but Ced got at me in a real way.
Right.
And I can honestly say since then we become really good friends and
so
hang out.
What you say he's not closed off.
He's not closed
an open
off.
Guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Some of these people can be divas, but Ced is he's a real one.
Yeah.
He's a real one. Salute.
Hell yeah, man. You see him as comedy,
Yeah, I try. I try to take that on. I always attribute that to being from St. Louis, like Midwest, kind of like just a vibe where you see a little bit of everything when you from the Midwest. You see a lot of people from New York. You had a lot of people out here, and you just kind of take that attitude that everybody really equal. You know what I'm saying? Right. People definitely feel like like I can be. I got this kind of loot. I got that kind of. I'm somebody. You be like, at the end of the day, dog, I hadn't seen it. where people be up and down and they don't really matter. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
I think that's an interesting question because you know it's funny. When you get successful, people from your hometown will say, like, you know, remember where you came from.
Oh, yeah.
Remember where you came from. But in my experience, the things I've seen is that most successful people don't change. I mean, they do a little bit.
Yeah.
Life, you know, stakes go up in life. The lifestyle goes up. But it's the way people react to them and look at them that changes.
It's the truth because, like, you know, I definitely had, like old homeboys go back to the crib and be like coming up to you, be like, I went to school with him, and they be like, man, is it okay for me to come over and say? You're like, what, dog?
Yeah,
like, is it okay to come say hello? Like, come on, man, quit playing.
I had I had the same experience. I made this movie when I was like 24 amongst friends, and I remember I went back to Long Island that summer after it came out, and I was in like, you know, back then it was just like you were in a lot of mags and Entertainment Tonight and shit like that. And I remember being with my stepmother on Central Avenue in Cedar. Some girl came up to me. She's like, Rob, do you remember me? And I'm like, I fucking grew up with you. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
No, I made it and then forgot the first 2 years of my life.
Cedric, so for you, like, what's one of the craziest requests somebody you knew asked? Like, you know, you just looked at him out like you out of pocket. Like say I need $700,000.
It was definitely, I had like a family member say they was having a baby and wanted me to get them a new house because they didn't have the space for the babies that was coming, and they just thought, you know, this would make a lot of sense.
You just buy houses for people,
like, get us a crib, man. Like, you know what I mean?
But you probably thought, like, they say, can you get us a crib? You was thinking about a baby crib.
Yeah, right.
You're like, sure, I'll go to
so we go to Toys
no doubt.
Oh, you mean, you talking about, you gonna show me some comps, you know, like, no, look at this 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath is what I'm talking about. But the thing was that they got so convoluted inside the family that they literally thought that I was wrong for not doing it. Like, it was like the family got all picked sides.
So they got mad with you.
People thought that I really should have bought this.
I think that only works if it's your daughter. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
if it's your daughter, like, I get it. I'm not saying you got to do it.
Yeah,
but I understand it.
Right.
I think, you know, for cousins, fuck that shit. You know what I mean? Straight up, fuck that. You know
like forget about it.
Yeah. Hell no. Buy them a fucking up. Fuck no, man.
Definitely been asked to buy cars, you know what I mean? Like, you know, those kind of things. Like, just, you know, people be caught in a trap, be upside down, come and tell you they problems or some shit they did. You're like, what? Okay, so you bought a Benz without no credit, with this amount of money down, didn't check it, and now you upside down like 13,000 and want me to just come in and like, it's supposed to be my problem.
That's your problem.
Right. Like, I'm like, bro, like, figure it out. Like, I didn't buy that car.
Bro, you got to make up, you know what, man? If that situation's that dire, you got to make up stories. You know what I mean? You got to create a narrative. Like, you just slide it out a little bit about how you're upside down in life, how you're battling like some kind of addiction issues, and you have nobody to talk to.
Right.
And then nobody's coming to you, man. You see that lottery winner? The guy last week, he fucking showed up at the press conference in the anonymous mask, I think. Like, he's like, he didn't want his family to know that
nobody knows.
Yeah, it's like Bill Murray on Letterman when he goes, you're the highest paid actor. You just got $20 million for Scrooge. He's like, thanks, Bill. Now I got family members. Come out of the woodworks.
Did you guys see in the news the guy who went to, I guess he a convenience store, he got a scratch off. He won like $30,000. And he went and took the $30,000 and bought a $30,000 chain, wore the chain the next day to the same store and got robbed at the store.
Yo, that's awesome.
Yo, the surveillance camera is so crazy because you see the guy doing the scratch off thing. He went going crazy. Literally, the next day he went and got a chain. He won $30,000.
Yeah.
Bought a necklace for $30,000. Came back to the same store and got robbed. Like.
Because he was coming back thinking, I'm going to get another scratch off and go for the watch that matches. You know what I mean? That's what he was thinking.
Right. He was like, I get this set.
It's blackjack, bro. He's at the tables. They were back down to zero. That's what happens when you try to double on your shit.
That's some crazy shit. I would say the craziest thing that ever happened to me, and like I said, I'm nowhere near you. your level, because I'm gonna say it now. If you ever been to Cedric the Entertainer house, it's like llamas, it's elephants, it's the craziest shit.
Oh, really?
Like, it don't even feel like
my 5-year-old there, man.
Dude, it don't even feel like you in
like
LA.
Dr. Doolittle, man.
It doesn't even feel like you in LA. Like you got to get on a gondola to get to the front door. How is it now in the era of cancel culture? How hard is it to be a comedian?
I mean, you know, it's one of those things that, I mean, you do have to watch the pitfalls. It's one of these weird things. Like, I think it's important for comedians to say what it is that they want to say. Like, I literally believe that, you know, as a comic, we are these kind of provocateurs of culture and the world and what's going on. And sometimes you're going to cross a line. I mean, most of the time, too, even when you're writing a joke, you ain't got the joke all the way down, right? You don't even know what's politically correct right now. So if you use the wrong term, you know, you say something wrong and then people just start hating on you and canceling you out, then, you know, that ruins everything. That ruins the idea of somebody like crafting something and turn it into this, you know, special piece. So, you know, I'm not really big on cancel culture. You know, I'm not necessarily the kind of comedian that's going to be out there like just saying any old thing anyway, but still, if I feel like saying it, I'm just gonna be like, well, I'm gonna say this shit. You know what I mean? And then you know, you say, well, I let the chips fall where they may. But you know, I ain't never really had like Black Twitter or the whole cancel culture people jumping my ass either. So what I don't know, I have seen people where, you know, you like, that shit brutal, man. Like they not playing.
They not playing.
So, but it's kind of sad though that I think that people can sit back and make an assessment about somebody else's creativity, artistry, even opinion. You know what I mean? Even somebody else's opinion.
It is censorship, man. I mean, at the end of the day, what it's really treading on is that kind of First Amendment vibe. I mean, you know, I don't fuck with anything that's like hate rhetoric that inspires other people to hate people.
Yeah, exactly.
Based on, you know, sexual orientation, gender, race, religious beliefs, but everything else for me is on the table.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like if you if you got up and you were like riffing on me about being Jewish, like I would laugh, man. Like, I mean, if it wasn't like, you know, you should fucking die. You know what I mean? You're a Jew. Or like, you know, Jews took everything from everybody. Outside of that, like, I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I mean, I think it's a big price. You know what I mean? It's a big price for creativity.
Yeah, it's the price. It's the big price to really move the world forward, right? Yeah. If you think about like folks that are, you know, super innovative or whatever. If I was intimidated by every move, you know, I would literally doubt myself from trying anything. Yeah, because you would just be like, I don't know. I don't know what they gonna think, and I don't know what this.
Because just think about it, you know, people like Richard Pryor couldn't exist.
No,
they couldn't exist now. Right. You know what I mean? Like Richard Pryor, even Bernie Mac.
Oh, what?
He couldn't exist now.
What? Yo, how's Cat
Williams?
Cat Williams. Yeah, Cat Williams fucking edgy as fuck.
Yeah, he couldn't exist. You know what I mean? Well, he does exist.
We saw Raw. Eddie Murphy's Raw.
Yo, it's the sickest thing ever.
And you like, yo, like
he went far.
This would never be on TV right now.
Oh
like,
no!
So
even the what's that delirious when he said pull over?
Oh right, and then just using the F word, like just
nothing,
throwing it out there,
like I mean, like it was
yo. Dog, you know what I'm saying? Even to the point I'm over here talking about the F word.
Yeah, dude, I never say that word, man.
That's not even...
I got a couple words I don't say. I don't drop N-bombs. I don't drop F-bombs. People are like, you don't say fuck. I'm like, nah, the other F-bomb, man. Like, I'll say fuck all the time.
Yeah.
Obviously. I think I've been limited in here, though, right?
Well, I think
we counted 250 fucks the first time I was in here.
Oh, yeah, you went ham.
I've gotten a lot better, right? I'm getting more comfortable. I'm using my words.
You're using your words.
Yeah, this shit I just won't say, you know what I mean? But, you know, and I think, listen, at the end of the day, you know, nobody really likes like a bully culture anyway, right? Where you go look like a disenfranchised.
Yeah, that's more my thing than anything. This bully culture, like I definitely am. I'm totally against somebody feeling like they gotta will themselves over somebody else. You know what I mean?
Right.
In order to make a point, like you like.
But it's coming back in an interesting way. It's coming back to the bullies, right?
Yeah.
You know, and it's like I don't want to start citing certain people, but certain people get super rich, super famous, think they're floating up here, and then all of a sudden, whether it's real people or bots, you're getting blasted with 50,000 comments like, fucking disappear already. Nobody cares. Leave, delete yourself. They're getting a little bit of their own medicine, you know? And I think that, like, you know, if you are a kid who is, you know, isn't sure what to identify with at a young age, right? Like, you know, and ultimately they wind up being non-binary or whatever it is.
Right.
You can imagine how uncomfortable of an experience that is for a kid, particularly growing up, maybe not necessarily in Los Angeles, in some bougie ass school like our kids are fucking going to. But if you're growing up in fucking Iowa,
you're right.
Like, you might not be fitting the fuck in. So, you know, I kind of, you know, I feel that all of the movements and, you know, the agendas are appropriate to help, you know, prevent that kind of, you know,
especially when you meet someone personally too. I always say that, like, it's easy to make these like big assessments about some wide eyes thing, right? But like LA is definitely something that teach probably most of us who not from here. But when you get out here, you recognize the world is big, right? Quick, right?
Quick.
And then you like literally be in friend circles with folks that's not like you at all. Yeah. However, when you meet them and get to talking to them, you're like, oh, that, you know, dog cool. Yeah. Right. Like, he cool people. Yeah, like, you know, so for me to have like this big wide net over, you know, somebody because they, you know, wear a headscarf or whatever they own, you know what I mean? You know, and now it's got even to the point that, like, you know, clothes and none of that stuff is descriptive. Like, people just wear what they want to wear.
Right. That's the best shit in the world. Like, we all, it's crazy. You couldn't tell by looking at us, but obviously, you know, he's got a fashion background. I studied fashion at Parsons School of Design. You knew that, right?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
You didn't know that I went to Parsons for fashion?
No.
Bro, I thought I was going to be fucking Ralph Lauren when I was 18.
Oh, shit.
I wanted to be Ralph Lauren. No, I'd be happy being Tom Ford, too. Yeah. And actually... He's actually the better version because he directs films too.
I guess, you know, he shot it down.
Actually, I fuck with Tom Ford big time.
Yeah.
I'm still saving up for a second pair of his underwear.
Exactly.
$1,000.
I'm still trying to pull it together. No, I fucking love Tom Ford.
It's crazy. We live in a Cray time because now there's like no fashion boundaries. You know what I mean? I'm 46, so I grew up in the era. If you're a man, you dress like a man. If you're a woman, you dress like a woman. Right. And now we live in a time where, like, I see, like, masculine dudes with, like, they're not even Merces. They're pocketbooks. You know what I mean? Like they're high-end handbags. Yeah. Right. You know what I mean? But they still... You know, they're dudes. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, I have like that fucking Supreme like North Face fanny pack shit. And somebody the other day told me I had a Merce. I'm like, it's not a fucking Merce. Like, it's strapped across my back, but you know.
Yeah. But how like, you know, and this question is for everybody at this table. Like, how do you guys feel with those lines being blurred? Because when you look at a lot of, you know, artists, a lot of people in this generation with the Merces, you know, the nail, you know, Virgil Abloh, who's the creative director of Louis Vuitton. You know, he wears his nails polished now. Kid
so
Cudi,
is my kid, man. My kid,
you know
my kid's old dude, 5 years old, but he'll show up. His toes will be done up in like orange and shit.
And how do you feel about
that? And then he'll walk in and punch me in the nuts. And then I'm like, all right. He's a duality. He's got a lot going on.
Right.
I don't have any feeling on it, man. You know what I mean? I actually think my son's too boyish in a way.
Okay.
Because I want him to be a little chiller, a little more compassionate. You know what I mean? Like slow it down. I don't know how I feel about the lines on it. Like, I'm cool with it. I think like 10, 15 years ago, seeing like pictures of Oscar De La Hoya and like high heels and fishnets and shit.
He was doing some other shit.
Right. But I'm saying, like, it was a little jarring, right?
Yeah.
But now if he walked in here right now in fishnets and high heels, I'd be like, what up? Like, it probably wouldn't register to me.
It would register.
I don't know, man.
Oscar De La Hoya with high heels on.
Maybe because De La Hoya walked in here unannounced.
For me, it was him having the boxing gloves on with the heels.
Is that what he had?
He had the boxing gloves on.
I thought he was in a hotel chair.
No, dude, he was standing up like in like the boxer stance with the gloves, the whole shit. And he had on like fishnets and high heels.
You know what? I think I'm confusing the images of him with the images of fucking the guy from And Justice for All, John Forsythe, at the end when Pacino gets a picture and he's in the hotel room with the fishnets and the... I don't know. I'm off on my own trip right now. I told you I hit that vape pen.
You hit that vape pen. You think about the Rocky Horror Film show.
Which, by the way, when I was a kid, I watched it 7... Rocky Horror Picture Show when I was a kid was a cultural phenomenon. I watched it 700 times. We had a bootleg VCR, deep, whatever the fuck they would call back then.
You got a Betamax.
VHS tape. Me and all my friends watched a million times. None of it registered in terms of its sexuality.
Oh, I felt the same way.
Like, we didn't understand any of it. We just knew the music.
Yeah, for sure.
We knew it was trippy. We'd go see it in a movie theater. Everybody dance in the aisles. It would be like this whole fucking
And you knew it was a guy.
experience.
Yeah,
but it didn't
like, register sexually.
It didn't make sense that like you knew he was a transvestite, but you didn't even understand what the fucking transvestite was back then. We were like 13. You know?
Yeah, you didn't even.
Right,
But you were just like, yo, this shit's cool, you know. But as you get older, then you start to hear like what things are, and then you're forming opinions and.
Got you.
You know.
And that's half the key, right? Like people like put that, you know, you say, can you transfer information into people? And half of it is your fears. As parents, you got to be very careful of these kind of things, right? Things you grew up believing, all these things, you literally transfer them into your kids. Right. We were just talking about that the other day. We got a friend that, like, she'd still take BC powder, right? Like when she does.
Not the BC, not the white powder that looked like. Oh,
like cocaine.
Do you guys know BC powders are?
But it's like as opposed to a Tylenol or aspirin.
It's pure powder.
It's the powder form, and it's ground up, and you can buy it. Like,
it tastes horrible.
Oh, you know what it is? It's like dabs for fucking medicine.
Yeah,
right.
Dabs for medicine.
It's like pharmaceutical dabbing. It's pharmaceutical dabbing.
These guys can't.
Don't say it out loud. We might have a new lane.
You know what I mean?
That's
like,
new.
Word.
You're gonna
I
see
just
hashtag pharmaceutical dabbing.
Dab this dog. Dab these perps.
I get fucked up. I just swallow 4 Advils. Some motherfuckers got to chop them up and snort them.
Yeah, like it's like a whole thing. But but they like she literally handed it over to her kids now. You know, like the kids need that same thing. Like
they need a BC powder.
BC powder, like in this day and age.
I haven't heard of like I'm from the South. So there were no Tylenol, no aspirin. It was BC powders at your grandma and your auntie's houses. And when they had a headache, they had a migraine, and it literally looks like cocaine. And it would be like in a little paper. And
but do you mix it in something, or you just
just pour it in your mouth and drink some water.
Like
How bad does it taste?
It's horrible.
I bet.
It's like sawdust.
Have you ever let a pill sit in your tongue?
I don't even know where you can
medicine?
find it. I was like, what Piggly Wiggly?
What Piggly Wiggly?
IG8.
IG8.
What
What
it?
Sinclair gas station did you get that from?
What was his original form? It always came as a powder?
Always a powder.
Always. And
Always in
But
a
what's it comparable to? Anacin, Bufferin, Tylenol,
I think
Advil?
more
Which
like
one?
aspirin. I
Yeah, it's
think.
like
It's an
ground
aspirin. Okay,
in
gotcha.
powder form.
Yeah, it's got to taste like shit.
That's gotta
man.
taste
Unless it's the St. Joseph's, like the children's ones.
But it would not
The Flintstone ones?
Oh, the Flintstone Chewables.
IG8.
You know, anytime I get shot with
Wilburs in a party.
you ever get shot with vitamins? Now, I'm not even talking about a drip.
drip? Oh, no,
I'm
okay.
saying like straight up shot in the ass with like B12 or C and glutathione.
No, sir.
The taste comes up in you, and it tastes
many
like a
people do.
Flintstones chewable. It's a Flintstones chewable, man.
Rob, you're in the minority in
Rob,
that
what's going on?
department.
What happened?
1% are there.
Can you take the glasses off
Tell
for
me
a second?
what happened?
You can't hear what happened because Sean was being rude
Okay.
and directing Cedric to be rude alongside of him. And fucking stepping on my motherfucking words. I'm done scripting out my shit. If I can't deliver my lines, I'm not scripting shit anymore. Fuck, I stayed up all night writing these bits. No, I was saying that when you get shot, you get a taste comes up, and you would taste like a Flintstones chewable.
No, I know exactly.
It's
what you're
really
talking about.
fuck crazy.
I used to get the hydrate. Drip, we call it the drip.
Yeah.
And when I get the drip,
You've had the drip?
yeah. Oh, you guys
How
on a
many
roll.
times you have the drip?
I love how
You guys on
viewers will have
you
no
guys on a
idea
roll
what
today.
What
We got
was the
Sid
name?
here. Now. We got
What's
Cedric
the
here.
name?
Now.
What was the name of the
Everybody-
place? Was it in Vegas? Was it in one of the?
Oh, yeah.
We got Cedric here now. Everybody's a fucking comedian. No, when I got the IV
Right.
and get all this nutrient stuff, I get this like citrus Flintstone taste in my mouth. Like I don't know where it comes from. It's like
I
vitamin
get it.
C.
Yeah, I don't know which one it is, but it is. I get it more on the injections than I do.
Yeah, but I never got it shot in my ass. I got it like in the IV.
Yeah, I get the IVs too.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like a push IV where they come in like it's like a whole plunger. And they put in the IV thing, so instead of it dripping down, it's like this
is all
big.
foreign
And
to
they
me.
just sit here and they just push it in, and you're
Yeah.
like, all right, cool, and then you're out in like 10 minutes.
Pause.
It's not as much as with a full IV, but
So wait a minute, Cedric. I've noticed that you're back on the road. You're doing shows. How hard is it for you on the road doing shows? Obviously, COVID is still out there. It exists. Coming off of a pandemic, how's the interaction with? Because you're very personable. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
people want to hug, give
did you get vaxxed?
I did do the shots, man. I did only because at the time it was been a year, hadn't done the work, hadn't worked in over a year, like doing stand up, and so. When it was starting, people was getting vaccinated, it was starting to calm down a little bit. The only places that were still even open doing shows at that time was Florida, Texas, Georgia, every place that never really closed. Yeah. And they were just loose with it. So I was like, look, I'm not, So I took, but I did want to go do some shows. So I was like, so I vaxxed and went out there. And I basically do it like that. I mean, I went out and I'll still kind of keep all the protocols. I'll just kind of keep myself to me and my guys in the back. Then I go hit the stage, and then I come back off. I don't do the pictures and all the stuff that I used to do, like just kind of come up and everybody hugging. We don't really do that part no more. So, that's unfortunate, you know what I'm saying? So, but I'm able to get on the stage and kind of, get that shit off that I need.
Good. So do you feel like during the pandemic, you started to create more material? Because obviously you're at home with your family.
Well, funny is I thought I did, which is kind of what most comedians have come to find out. It's like when you sitting up literally writing in a bubble, you in a bubble, man. Like so you thinking this shit funny. Mm-hmm. And what I did when I went on stage and thought, like, oh, this shit gonna be crazy, right? Like, and just was like, it just wasn't necessarily all translating. So I had to pivot on stage. Like like, oh shit, like this shit is not dope. Like
it's not connecting.
Well, a lot changed too, man. Because I spent the pandemic. I came out. I'm like, I'm gonna have 3 motherfucking shows on the air, and the only show I got is this shit that we're sitting in right now. You know what I mean? So like, I went out with heavy duty packages. And people are like, nah, it's too masculine, or it's this, or it's that, and you're like, shit, man, shit really changed. Yeah. But you're right. If you're not, as guys who creative, you're not out there like drawing on a daily basis, bringing in that energy. And unless you're like some Stephen King type shit, right? And you're like,
Well, you think about literally, if you're a writer, like you just sitting in a room writing, you kind of built that situation up. But the idea of like creating things where people respond to you, it literally takes the vibration, right? You got to be in the vibe that works. Even being able to come here and do this, like, we would be trying to do this on Zoom. Yeah. It would have never had like the literally camaraderie that you have, just in the moments, right? Mm-hmm. And then shit happens. You be like, oh shit, like this shit started to jump off, right? But if I was sitting here, my daughter in the background and my kid, my wife on the intercom, I'm trying to do a Zoom and it's like, the dogs barking.
It's definitely better for the the Hollywood pitches and the meetings. Like I was thinking like about days where I had to drive like fucking.
I love that part,
especially like in
you like driving. I love
the part we don't have to do that
anymore. Netflix.
Yeah,
sit in the fucking waiting room with 75,000 other people who are trying to take the money I'm there to get.
Exactly. Everybody looking.
You get in there. It's like a bunch of people. You're at the table with your pitch buddies and partners, and you're just waiting. Like, you good? Yeah, I'm good. You ready?
Did everyone get a healthy breakfast?
We got this.
Everyone on their A game.
A bunch of fucking executives walk in. Hi. Sorry we're late.
Yeah.
Sit down. They just look at you like this. Yeah. It's just a lot of like,
let's do it.
Yeah. And then it's, I don't mean to me like calling out Netflix on this. So let me do a little mea culpa to it. But it's kind of true, but whatever,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it's like, you got to
because they got the best lobby. They kind of we're kind of used to being a little pretentious because they got popcorn and shit down there.
I'll go anywhere that has like dope fucking coffee setups.
Yeah,
I forgot where I went in Santa Monica or Culver City. Oh, it was Apple. Apple's got a whole fucking barista thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they got outside, the bro. First off, I'd have to go there 75,000 times to get back the fucking money I gave them in fucking bullshit Apple products.
Right.
And get about 7,500 fucking lattes.
For the new charger. The new charger I got to buy because I got a new phone.
They have a whole deck with barista shit. And I was like, yo, can I smoke a cigar out here? And they looked at me like I was fucking bananas.
That's a great segue because you said cigars. I know you're a cigar connoisseur. Yeah. Like what do you like? Cuban, Dominican?
Well, I mean, I found myself liking a good Cuban, at first I thought it was overrated. I'll be honest. Like, it's a very sincere cigar, you know, like you got to be like one of these people, like you like, shit, goddamn, like this motherfucker is hard, like, and it was like, but you know, the more that I started smoking cigars, the more I understood like the Cuban smoke, like, and it's good. So, but I'm a big fan of Partagas and you know.
You been there yet? Have you gone to Atlanta?
Oh yeah,
me too, man. I did the Partagas factory. It's great, man.
Great times. Yeah.
You know why the Cuban cigars hit harder, man? They're the only cigars with lithium in them. Like the lithium that is in the soil. It's a lithium-rich soil, so you actually get fucking like high from a Cuban cigar more than you do from other shit. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Yeah, the only thing I know about lithium is in batteries, right?
Yeah,
like, shit, is this good?
Back in the 50s when people suffered depression, they went through lithium treatments. Like that's what they would put you on before they fucking the pharmaceutical
pharmaceutical dabbing.
Yeah, right before the explosion of like 7 trillion depression medications, one that you take to help you with the other one. That helps with the other one, lithium treatment and shock therapy and crazy.
But it's a natural
like
mineral, right? It's a
natural mineral,
right?
and it's rich in the soil there. But the Cuban's a very specific taste. I'll smoke a lot of Davidoffs.
Yeah.
I had my own like cigar brand with Davidoff for a while, so I got to get you some of those. They're old school now. Now
they're also very great. Davidoff is always consistent. Their thing about a Davidoff cigar is usually it's one of the most expensive cigars when you go to grab one. So don't just be like in there grabbing one like that ain't for your cousins.
That ain't for
they have roll up a blunt.
You like no, that was $35.
Yeah, they don't sell them everywhere. That's why you have to be part of like a white glove program with Davidoff. Yeah, so they only have like selected merchants, man. But we'll all smoke. I'm loaded up on some Davidoff, so we'll all smoke.
That's that rich shit.
Yeah,
we got to start smoking in this fucking room.
I mean, I would love to smoke in here. But,
look at Steve. Look at the producer.
Oh, Steve,
first time he showed his face. Like they're not going to see him, but he did something like this. He was over there. Keep on you wet.
Oh no, guys.
Oh no. So speaking of smoking, blunts or joints?
I'm from the old school. I like the papers. I like the papers. And certain blunts, I guess like you go certain places in the country and they'll have something that's like with the sweeter flavor or whatever. But like
pineapple.
That ends up feeling suspicious. and then you like, but the harsh ones like backwoods and stuff like that. I'm not a big fan.
I never smoked a blunt, man.
Oh, you never smoked a blunt?
I would. We got to do that on air.
Well, we got to do that on air. We got to get you right with a.
Yeah.
I don't know. I had a meltdown Friday night. And I don't know if I'm gonna be like smoking that fucking blunt shit on air.
So, are you a recreational smoker? Do you feel like it brings you down? It calms you down? Like occasionally, do you feel like I'm gonna hit a joint and I'm gonna be mellow because your dad, your granddad now. Are you a smoking granddad?
Yeah, I won't. Like my kids know I smoke, but they don't know I smoke. Yeah, right. Like I don't. I'm not like one of those people that's fired up, but they'll know. Like I've been sitting out on the back. I come in and I'm joking and I'm hyped, and they're like, Dad,
smoke something.
That's nice. Like, but in general, it's rare though. Like I'm very social in all of it. Like even drinking. Like I don't drink alone hardly, and I don't smoke alone. It's very rare that maybe, and I probably would smoke more than I do drinking by myself. Yeah, like if I want to hit a little blaze, just to be nice, I'll be like, all right, cool, and I'll put it out and I'm gonna just do my thing. But it's usually like after the show. I can't get high and go on stage.
Okay, I was wondering because a lot of people like to get high.
A lot of comics do that, right? Like they blazing all day, like rappers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, if I walked up there blazed, I'll be like, yeah.
So when you
but you're cool getting high, being out like. At like Harriet's, you could smoke up at Harriet's.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I heard you smoked up at Harriet's.
No, I heard you. Always.
But like, I don't think I'm good. I think I'm only good high when I'm with like a girl or something. And I think like all the fucking experience going on around me, it's a lot,
Yeah.
You're still a new smoker though.
Yeah. I'm going to try to get better.
You'll evolve.
I'm going to try to get better. I'm going to do this.
I'm literally going. Steve Riffin just hit me up right before I got here. He's doing like a company a weed company. He was like, yo, what are you doing? I was interviewing Cedric the Entertainer. Da, da, da. He was like, after that, come over by my crib because I'm having people come over. I got some new weed. We're going to smoke. So I'm going to be high later.
Oh,
All right. Sounds good.
All right,
Sounds
so
nice.
that's where we're going?
That's where we're going.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's what we're doing. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he was letting us know what his plans were for the day. Or it was
I like that. That's cool.
He's
I like
really
him
cool.
better if he's like just handing out goodie bags and shit. Like,
I'm sure they'll do that.
Oh yeah, they're gonna do that.
Yeah,
it's
that's
gonna
all
be great. It's
weed
gonna be
guys.
a great experience.
That's how I
bags
actually.
of
I
weed,
haven't
yeah.
bought weed in so long.
Just
Ever.
gonna give
It's
me sweets. Yeah,
literally
That's how it
like
is.
you.
But then you kind of rolling the dice, right?
Yeah.
I got bags.
Yeah, I think the last time I
son,
walked into a dispensary in Purdue must have been 2018. Like,
But it's
No,
like,
you and me went. Didn't you and me go? You see, because I can
that was
only.
the yes.
I can,
When I tell you when we walked in, I was like,
smoke.
the first time I walked in
I gotta
here in years.
smoke the same strains, so I know what's coming. Like if I smoke that, what is this shit I smoke? Good brand or whatever it is, that hybrid,
Good flower.
whatever the
Good
fuck
flower,
it
yeah,
is.
what it
It's
was.
simple, and I'm like, I know
Yeah.
what I'm gonna get. When I start fucking with shit, I don't know what I'm gonna get. I'm gonna get something I don't
and
want
they
to
got
get.
some
You know
shit.
what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
got
what's
some
funny.
shit.
Like the baristas of weed, like come in, they can just.
They're
like, how do you feel?
bud
Yeah,
tender.
yeah,
The
what do you-
bud
Yeah.
tenders.
Are you sleepy? But you want to be up and you got to
How do
write.
you want to feel? You
Yeah.
got a
Yeah,
project you got to get rid of.
But you're also like tired of your kids talking. You want to nag, but you also need to read, but you're driving. Okay, got it. Like,
yeah, it's like going into the Apple store.
It's
like the Apple
That's
store.
what I always say to him, man. I go, I'm gonna stop by the Apple store weed, and he's like, what? And I go,
MedMen.
you know, the Apple store for weed, MedMen. Yeah,
It's like the Apple store.
Well, that's what they did. They ripped
ripped
off the
the-
vibe of an Apple store,
Yeah,
and they said,
smart.
let's just do it with fucking herb.
Because when
know?
you go in there, it don't feel shady or seedy. It feels
Right.
like everybody's dressed alike. They greet you with a smile, and like you said, they break down. Like, where do you want to be in your high?
yeah,
And I love that.
yeah,
It's just funny
good to
that,
know.
that weed has gotten to that point.
Yeah, because weed was just
It's-
weed. You just
Right,
smoke it.
yeah,
It was
and
just-
but you would,
it was-
you would,
Yeah.
but you know, it's definitely like the kind like I'm more of a stevia up dude. Like I
Me
much
too.
rather laugh and be having
Right,
a good
right,
time on
right.
weed. And you know, it's like when you used to just get regular weed randomly, and somebody give you a whole OG indica.
Yeah.
Indica.
You get up,
but
you
I'm
get up,
cool
you're like,
with
yeah, Sunday wake and bake, 12 p.m.
Yeah, you're like, oh man.
What is this?
I'm like, oh no, I'm not big on that high right there. Like
Oh, my God.
I can pass on that.
That's funny as fuck.
yeah. I like the hybrid, man.
I like a hybrid. I gotta be up.
Yeah.
I don't want to indica.
I can't be too up, man. I'll fucking spiral. Like I can't have. Dude, I had a head high and a body high, man, off
Yeah,
that
but
drink and that vape.
Yeah,
I was like,
you smoked
bro, I was
and,
tingling,
you,
I was
and
shaking.
you drank some shit. Though.
And I was in live, and I looked at
those-
my friend, and I said, "Yo, man, I'm not doing all right, man." I said, "I'm
mixed
fucking,
the two.
I'm bugging the fuck out, man. Bugging the fuck." He was like, Rob, look, man, you took a drug. It's doing its job. It's doing exactly what you asked it to do.
Yeah. That was
Enjoy
the-
it.
that's
Ride the
when the
wave. And I
edibles
was just
were
like
out
this.
there,
Oh,
That's what it
edibles.
was. It was like a fucking edible thing.
I told him that, and I was like,
Those things.
Yeah,
that-
I learned, man. I learned.
They've gotten those a little bit. Again, that's probably the greatest, kind of growth spurt is in the edibles.
In the
where you
edibles.
because that would be the thing. Somebody give you a brownie, they made brownies like, oh, I made
Yeah.
weed brownie. Girl, you like, oh.
yeah, this is good.
It's a roll of the dice, though, right?
You talking about an hour from now?
Oh,
you
yeah.
call the
Oh,
ambulance.
yeah, exactly.
Right.
That's why I told him.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I
He
felt
thought
like.
he was,
I thought I was going to Cedars,
go to the
man.
hospital. Yeah.
I thought I was going to go to Cedars.
Call the ambulance.
Yeah, and you could say you actually know how to say ambulance, but
Yeah.
when you that high, it's like call the ambulance. I haven't blinked in an hour. Like, dude, you
so
said
crazy.
I can't swallow.
Yeah.
You like, no,
Couldn't
you're
feel
just
my legs,
rolling.
man.
Dude,
I was certain when I stood up that I was going to fucking go down for the count.
But that's the worst feeling. See, I can't do edibles.
I can't do edibles.
I rather smoke. I can control my intake.
Yeah.
When my first week in LA, a friend of mine was having a birthday party. They did not tell me that the cake was made with marijuana butter. Wow. And I love cake. I love pastries. I ate a slice about this big. I was so high. Only thing I can remember was my wife and her friends like pulling me into the car, and I was staring into
And
space.
it takes an hour to kick in. Like,
And
that was that's how it snuck up on me, man. I sucked down the drink. I was fine. I was in there like chatting, and I'm like hitting my vape pen that's mostly CBD. Right. And I'm like this and that. And then two friends showed up, and I was like, who the fuck are they? I was like, this ain't real. And then it was just full on spiral, man. I was like, is this really happening? What the fuck? And then it was just gone, man. It was game over for 3 hours. And then you just like, and then you'd be like, dude, the funniest thing is that happened when I got there. I was with Scroll. I had my shirt undone here, and it's like this, hey, what's up, what's up?
Going back to
go.
what
Let's
Cedric
talk
said
about
about going on stage, I always thought it was interesting when comedians got high before they went on stage, and the fact that you don't is like kind of cool because all that it's so.
It's just
you know, I saw you at
natural talent.
I saw you when you and Charlie Murphy, Eddie Griffith, George Lopez. Yeah, that show was crazy, and I was just sitting there with my wife. I was like, they all got to be high. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like to really get to that level.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was like, there's no way you naturally get to that level, but you're telling us like you don't go out high.
Right.
No. I like it. I'll just go out and get in the zone, but then my celebration is afterwards, like again. And I also that was the other thing I was thinking about. Like I like to do both. Like I'm not a drinker. Like if I just sit and drink, then I'll be sluggish. And so usually if we out and everybody like let's go drink, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna need some weed. Like I'm like I just can't.
Oh, so you'll mix it too?
Like I need that. Like because I like being alcoholic drunk. Like the way the alcohol is too weird for me. Like it's. Like I gotta have that balance. I gotta have the kind of like cerebral energy that come from weed, and then I can sip. I only drink tequila though right now.
Man. Oh yeah, well I quit drinking 2 years ago, but I ended on tequila and red wine. That was it.
That was it.
Tequila. So you getting more health conscious as you get older?
I haven't drank too in a while too. So that was the one thing I had to do. I went into this Chinese doctor and it was like, all right, cool. Let me herbalist, like cleaning my liver out and all that.
Holistic?
So yeah,
like a holistic
energy with all the the teas you got to drink every day. A lot of water.
Well, how seriously did you take it? Like crossing 50, because you're 52 now, right? I'm 54, exactly. So I'm older than you.
Yeah,
but, man. How serious you start to take the health thing?
I'm 57.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I'm
I thought you were 52. Oh, well, you are older than me.
I've known you a long time.
You got 3 years old on me, man.
No, but you got to do it. I mean, it's the thing about it. You don't realize it because you kind of live your life thinking like most of us, we live it like thinking like every day is the next day. It's just going to be cool. But then it becomes very real, like, the aches, the pains, the idea of, how you want to look, how you want to feel, how you want to wake up. And then you start to see, like now, it's just way more health conscious people in the world that come into your life, right?
Yeah.
Like on your phone.
Yeah.
Like, man, you like, this nigga 70? That motherfucker look good. Like, I ain't trying to be.
Like Key Sweat 62?
Amped up. Like, oh, okay. All right. I see what's going on. Like, people ain't out here playing, right? You start to think, like, all right, you got all this time. So, now let's get up early.
I think post the pandemic, it's like New World Order, right? To give a shit a little bit. I mean, half the people went like put on weight during the pandemic, on lockdown, probably stress related, drinking more. The other half just went hardcore into fucking health and new medicine and and
I did both.
Nutrition.
I started out really into
the
it.
First couple months,
I was like, grinding. I'm like, and then you start getting it in. You working out, you grinding. Then you start seeing people know how to make fucking sourdough bread.
Hey, he hold on for a second. How do you do that? I can make that in the kitchen.
Oh, I know how to do that shit right there.
Everybody learned how to cook something, man.
So you put the ice cream in the cake. Okay. All right.
Oh my God. So how was it working with Bernie Mac?
Oh man, B-Mac was, again for me, he was one of these guys. I was coming up, we from the Midwest, so Chicago. I was coming up, and Mac was always this big brother, in the situation, right? And so literally when I went to Def Jam, that was one of my favorite stories. When first time I went to Def Jam, he had went before. Mm-hmm. He had already done it, maybe one other season. This is. I'm nervous, he hadn't heard about me. He let's go get some lunch. So, what I'm saying? We in New York, you go get some lunch, and I love telling this story because you get this visual, we at some dope spot, but we at Sabaros.
Okay.
Which
nice
which one?
Lunch in New York. Lunch in New York City. The Ritz.
That was exactly what was going through my mind
right on the square. But anyway, that's when he was talking about, you can't let the New York audience intimidate you. That's most of us who come from the Midwest or whatever, we get up here in New York is just this, it's this city, and it's crazy, you get all intimidated. And he's like, I'm gonna let them know I ain't scared of these motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? And he was saying that in, that was his attitude. Then he literally went on stage and did it.
I ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
And the most famous, I call it the most famous 8 minutes of comedy ever. I ain't scared of you motherfuckers, took Bernie Mac from being us to he was gone.
He was gone.
He was gone. He was like, well, he was one of us, like on the same show. We all taping. Till the next time, he was Bernie Mac. We was like, well, shit. Like,
wow.
Hey, Bernie, can I come over and talk to you?
See, that's that comedic shit.
That's fucking great.
Hey, you remember me from Sabaro?
You remember me from Sabaro? You bring up my fucking ass. Oh shit! Now, did you know? Because I think a lot of us, when he passed, we were just shocked. We didn't know he was even sick.
Yeah.
What did close people like yourself?
Yeah. I mean, we didn't expect him to pass though, but we knew he had the the rare like lung disease, the sarcoidosis, but it was treatable. So I mean, I think they still dealing with it. So I don't know all the details, but it was more from the hospitals
negligence.
That gave him an infection in the process of that. So he could have been survived it, but like the hospital had some shit where they give you a staph disease.
Yeah,
because they ain't taking care of their shit, and that's really more led to.
Wow,
so from my understanding, right? Yeah, but we knew because we were trying to do the Kings again. We were trying to go back out, and we were going to do a limited run. And I remember we was kind of talking, and it was a whole thing the way we had to do Bernie because he was ill, and it was like, all right, cool, we got to do it this way. We got to really like line the cities up so that he not like out on the road like long periods of time, and so So that's when we became more aware, like it was a real situation. But but again, like he was fine. Like what I'm saying, it wasn't like you expected him to like we know like any day now. Like no, he was like he would be on the oxygen or whatever, and then he can get up and be Bernie Mac. Like he was fine.
He was fine. Wow. And with Charlie, when I saw Charlie Murphy, it was so funny because when I saw him with you guys did the big show, arena show, and Charlie was funny because when the crowd would go left, he went left with them. Like fuck y'all. Like I remember sitting there with my wife, and Charlie Murphy was like. He looked like he was getting ready to leave the stage and fight some. Like, he looked at somebody. This dude was like heckling. He said, "Nigga, I come down there and fuck your bitch, nigga." And I was like, like, what the? Like, this dude was like,
extremely aggressive human being.
Dude, he was like, literally, the dude was heckling. He said, "Man, let me tell you something. I come down there right now and fuck your bitch, nigga." And I was like, it's time to go. My wife was like, when is Cedric coming out? I said, when is Cedric coming? He's so nice. Like, this guy's talking about fucking bitches in the front row. Like, Jesus.
It's so true, dog, man. He's like, and for like dudes, like he that kind of like ultra masculine that is so funny because he literally that dude. Like, he literally was like, he was telling us a story, man. I love Charlie Murphy was telling a story. He was like, yo, he was like be real rock star. Like before he would be on the stage with us, because we wore suits. So then, but he would rock star style chains, leather with the spikes. He had the biker chain with the wallet. So he's like going through the airport one time, and so. He saw me with my frat shirt on, my cap out the side. He said, "What's the ones that wear the black and yellow though? Who them motherfuckers?" I was like, "Oh, I saw them the Alphas." He was like, "Yeah, them motherfuckers right there, nigga." I was like, "What happened, Charlie?" He's like, "I was at the airport this early one morning. I left. I've been rock and roll. I come to the stage. I got to go through the airport, and my shit is on. I got chains, so I'm like taking it off and boom, boom, and this old motherfucker back there huffing and puffing and shit. So then he just gonna jump past me and go, "Oh no, I ain't gonna sit up here with all these little sissy motherfuckers with all these whips and chains and belts on. I ain't waiting for that shit." So he just go jump in front of, get around to go jump in front of Charlie. When he turned and told me, this is an old man, dog. He like this dude like 70, 80 years old. Charlie he turned to this little say, "Hey motherfucker, you touch me, you gonna find out how old your ass really is." What? Charlie, you about to beat up the whole man? This motherfucker told me I had on whips and chains. I didn't have no whips on.
Yo, dude, Charlie, he was an alpha male comedian.
He's fucking mad as fuck about that shit.
Oh my God. What do you think about the future comedy? Like, do you think when you look at the internet and social media, and now you got these internet comedians and these people, do you think it's going in the right direction, or do you think that it's really changing the landscape of comedy?
I mean, it's always somebody next. That's the thing that I always, recognize, even when I was coming up, because, we definitely came in. I came in with a large class of comedians that, like, still around. Like, you know what I'm saying? Me, Fox, Harv, Lopez, DL. Like, we all was a generation that was after, like, Damon Wayans and Eddie Murphy and all them and Martin. You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of comedians showed up on the scene that still exists, right?
Yeah.
They're still around. And so then it was slowed down. Then you start to see the one-offs in a way. Like you start to see like Epps and Cat and Kev, and they one at a time, right? And now then the internet kind of pops back up, and you start to see like I like the camaraderie of like the 95 South dudes. Like, I love them dudes. Like I love the fact that it's 3 or 4 of them. You know, I mean, I think you see Carlos and Chico and DC on stage, but I think Clayton English, there's a couple of other guys in that group, and they all funny dudes. Like they all funny individually, but then they go on stage together like on some Rat Pack shit. I love that. Like I like the fact that it's energy out there. A lot of
It's
lot
also
of
like
funny
evolving the genre, right?
Yeah,
they keep pushing like the different like the format of it.
Even some of the guys that's on the like the kid Ha Davis like, on the thing. I mean, he more social media comedian, but he be lit. Like his jokes be funny and stuff hot. The Drewski kid that's like popping up.
What's a guy named Ryan?
Ryan Davis.
Ryan Davis is funny as hell.
Funny as hell. Like these dudes. So you know what I'm saying? And then it's like a couple young comedians, Ann's like this girl, Rita Brent. She been working up for me. She dope. She funny. Always be on stage killing it. So I feel like there is always gonna be this positive flow. It of course, it's the idea that people have of the good old days or when it was the heyday or anything. You just can't go back. That's like people love to do that with hip hop. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you need these groups. She'd be like, that's.
But everybody,
time is moving.
Every fucking
it's
period
evolving,
traps a bunch of purists.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then you got the people who can't evolve. You know what I mean?
I think the only thing that's missing from this generation of comedy, like yourself or like the Steve Harveys or the Bernie Macs of that space is you guys took the comedy and created TV shows. You know what I mean? Like and maybe it's coming. Maybe it's in the works for some of these guys. But I love the fact that you were able, like with your current show on CBS, Neighbors. I love how like you're one of my favorite comedians, and like I said, we're friends. But you're like my grandmother's favorite comedian too. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like Cedric. Go ahead.
That's the thing. I think with the growth of like social media and the individuality, people don't necessarily have to have any degree of assimilation. Like when I came up, even to be a dope comic, you had to work both white and black clubs. Yeah. You had to appeal to a wider, audience to be able to have a real audience, right? But now that audience is literally on your phone. So it's only the people that rock with you, and that's who rock with you. Right. So that's what I found is like most of these guys, they just don't even bother translating their imagery, their ideology. He's like, yo, I walk out, I got blunts in my hand, I got my do-rag on, and that's who I am, right? You're like, all right, cool, that will not be on CBS.
Yeah, it won't be on CBS.
Yeah, and maybe that don't matter to you, right? Yeah. But there is the ideology of the levels to it. Like even doing CBS, like, I get that thing because CBS is middle America, safe America in a way, and this kind of thing that, the idea older. So the idea of doing something that's, irreverent and cooler and hipper is always the desire of the person in front of the camera. You want to be hip. You want to be hot. You want to be boom. So, you fight that a lot of times, like being on a show where it's like, it's good. It's #1. It's making money. I make money. My life is good. My family's good. But it ain't necessarily the hot show. It ain't it's not
Snowfall.
Yeah, not right where everybody But I'm like, dude, but I do 20. I do 24, and Snowfall do 10. I want to be on my show. I get this. You know what I mean? Like I do a bunch of these in the season. Right. So for what I am and where I am, I want to do this. I get it. Snowfall is dope. I agree. I like it.
Yeah. What season are you in now?
4th. We starting the 4th in August.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, these guys will hit 100 episodes in like 4 or 5 years, right? What are you doing? 20, 22, 24?
Yeah, 22.
Yeah, it's sick, dude. On Ballers, we were doing like 8. You know what I mean? Like people are like, oh yeah, you had balls, you guys killed it. I'm like, we made 41 episodes, man. Wow. Like in like 5 seasons. That's it.
Yeah, it's nuts.
It's like nothing, you know what I mean? Entourage, you did like 100, but over 8 years.
But worked it though, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was like one of those.
But I could go either way with it, man. Like for me, the 22 is a heavy load. Like if I was running that, I'd have to run it with like 22 other people or something. You know what I mean?
But it's a different kind of vibe too. Like say the shows, like again, these are cultural iconic shows that you have. Like I mean, and you think about the way that they shoot them and the way that you tell the stories. You really don't want to do 22 of those,
I know.
right?
I'm only kidding. But I'm saying it financially. I'm saying for the dough, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. For the dough, you be like, yo.
Yeah, for the dough, you go, like, I want to shoot like 30 a season, you know what I mean? But for the artistry, I want to do like 10, you know? Like, that's just the right amount to tell the story and break it the right way. Because I always looked at the TV shows we do as movies, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Half-hour movies week to week. So,
gotcha. And talking about Snowfall, I was late to the party.
I still haven't seen it. My friend created it. I was on set with him and Singleton when they were doing the pilot. Then they had a shake-up. They got rid of John.
Oh, yeah.
Brought in new showrunners. And I think my friend Eric Amadio, who's the co-creator, jumped off also.
Oh, wow.
It took a while to catch a vibe, though, to be honest.
But when it did.
Yeah.
It took a couple
seasons. It took a couple seasons.
Yeah.
They're about to be,
the fifth season?
I think they're coming up to 4.
Holy shit,
yeah,
man.
I feel like only the last
crazy,
the last
man.
seasons really will put him on. Like the first
yeah.
2,
Dude,
one of my buddies was like, yo, you got to watch Snowfall. I'm like, it's been around for like 4 years.
See, but if I had to bet, I would say, yo, it's got a gangster vibe, it's got a crime vibe, it's got a masculine vibe, right?
Yeah.
All shit we're not getting enough of on television.
Yeah, no,
dude.
dude.
Not getting
it's
it.
so. Let me tell you something.
They're not making it, man.
My late cousin, God bless, Andre Harrell, he called me. He called me up and was like, "Nigga, I'm gonna tell you, don't be late to the party." And I was, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "You were late to the wire." He was like, you were late to the wire. Don't be late to Snowfall.
Well, you can't show up late to the wire. You got to show up from day one, or you don't know what the fuck's going on.
And I was
man.
like, I never saw the wire. What?
Oh wow.
Me neither, man.
I never saw.
Really?
Yeah, I never saw one episode. What? And so Andre would call me and like he would literally call me like, "You watch Snowfall?" Yeah, I was like, "No." He was like, "You fucking up," and just hang up the phone. And then literally after he passed, I was sitting on the couch thinking about him, and I binge watched Snowfall, and it was so dope.
How'd you do that, man? It's on FX, right? Was it on
Hulu?
Yeah.
So I binge watched it, and literally I was sitting on my couch crying because the show was good, and also I couldn't call Andre.
You couldn't
tell him and say you were right. I just sat there. I was like, you were right.
We're gonna talk to him hopefully in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, because we're getting the medium.
We're gonna get a medium in here.
Oh, really?
We're gonna have. You should hop in. We should have anybody who likes Andre should come in.
Cedric was the second person when I found Andre dead. Cedric was the second person I called.
Yeah.
I called you. I just got the phone with you in Swanee.
Yeah.
And I called you back and was like, "Yo, I just found Andre's dead."
Like what?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard info to process.
No, that is, man.
Hard.
Fucking sucks.
Well, shit. Cedric, thank you for coming, brother. We appreciate it. I mean, you're a busy man. And like I said, I'll say it again. I've worked with a lot of people in Hollywood, but this dude is just so genuine. He came, I got married in New York like 7 years ago. We had a big after party. Cedric came. It was a funny story because when he walked in, my family's from South Carolina. They saw Cedric the Entertainer. They went fucking crazy.
Right.
So all of my family members had phones and cameras, wanted to take individual pictures. I've worked with a lot of celebrities. Cedric is not that kind of guy.
Isn't it great when you're the least celebrated guy at your own wedding?
At my own wedding. Cedric walked in, they forgot about me. Nobody gave a fuck about me. But they all had these cameras. I was like, we taking one motherfucking picture. And I was like, all of y'all got to get in that one picture. And whoever has that picture, you figure out how to get it to everybody. But they were lined up, and there's really not a time I'm on the phone with my grandmother who's 88 years old. I don't want to. Maddie Mae McKnight, and she always said, "When the last time you spoke to Cedric?" Always.
That's classic.
She always said, when you talk to Cedric, because she see the Pfizer commercials and stuff.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
she was like,
You got a Pfizer commercial?
Yeah, he did. He styled them for me. We did.
What are you doing, Viagra?
No.
What do they got you pushing, man?
I did the diabetes. I did diabetes stuff mainly because my dad's got diabetes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I pushed diabetes.
Yeah, so he
tried to get the
But did they
older
give you a
gentlemen.
okay? But they give you a deal on the Viags.
Viagras.
They threw
some.
Did they sweeten the pot with
They
the
threw
blues?
some out there in the wild. But I can't use Viagra.
Yeah.
Man.
All right, and we are back for part 2
Yes,
of our
yes.
episode.
After our big commercial break.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know. From Carl's Jr.
Our guest, our second guest, the one and
the
only.
amazing Charlotte McKinney.
In the building.
Yeah.
I just want to
tattooed up.
Fully tatted.
Tattoo-less Charlotte McKinney.
Fresh off her.
Oh my God! First and foremost, I just want to say I went to Carl's Jr. looking for you.
That's hilarious.
You were not
So
there.
sweet.
I had several burgers, gained several pounds.
He went looking for you. He settled for
wait,
6
wait, I think-
quarter-pounders
But I
instead.
think her thing was about vegan burgers,
No,
right?
it was their first like natural
Yeah.
burger.
All
What were
natural.
we
No
eating before
hormones,
that?
no BS.
What were we eating?
That's
Chemicals.
the question.
Straight up
Chemicals.
chemicals.
That's the question. That's
Some
So
Subway
this was
Junior.
the grass fed.
Who knows? That's what they
That's
said.
what they claim.
who
Who knows?
Who knows?
It was made out of shoelaces and leather. I don't know, but it was. You were in the commercial, and it was amazing.
Oh, well, thank you. I literally walked in. I go, can we not start with Carl's Jr.? But hey, it is what it is. That's how I started. Kind of just have to own it at this
Well, it's
point.
like, we were hitting you with something. It was either the boyfriend.
Yeah, what
or
are you
it was
gonna?
the
You
Carl's
you need your
Jr..
intro, so that's what people recognize me from, I guess. So
How did that
No, but
even, go ahead.
but I was just saying, because we were talking about Sidebar a little bit, and it's an interesting story because you were kind of on that first wave of do-it-yourself social media stars who managed to translate it to commercial success. Now everybody's trying to do that, but you're legitimately a pioneer
The
in
original
doing that.
pioneer.
the real OG.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. I grew up in Florida. I didn't know anyone in Hollywood. I just knew I wanted to be in the entertainment industry. Like my dad's Bahamian and literally knew nothing about breaking in. So I went to Miami, I went to New York, and everyone was telling me to screw off. I was short. I had too big of boobs at the I just didn't fit the model for
Who
the
are
time.
these people?
Yeah, I was gonna
Right,
say
yeah,
that.
we're going
Who
back.
says that to a
Who
person?
are these critics?
Your boobs are too big.
These are people.
Weird.
These are people that were strictly editorial and fashion.
Yeah,
week
you get
shit.
it. Like,
That's
Yeah,
it.
true.
They weren't
True.
living real life
They
shit.
didn't-
They were just like mannequin type shit.
Brazilian, you know.
Yeah,
How
the
tall are
same
you?
look.
I'm 5'7".
You're taller than me.
Yeah, so I mean,
Damn.
but yeah, I mean, it was just
I
a
love
hard.
the fact that O'Neal made that seem like that was a really hard thing to do. These 8th graders going like, "What class are you in?"
Damn.
I'm 5'6" and 3/4.
Harry 8th grader.
Yeah, the real heights.
Oh my god!
But how did this Carl's Jr. thing happen? Like,
No, so you're in New York.
So
you're
yeah,
being
like
rejected.
I'm just being rejected left and right, and I'm like, I just have to take it in my own hands. All
Yeah.
these agents are, assholes. So I kind of just started putting my work out there when Instagram kind of just started, and I don't like to be called like an Instagram person because I hate it.
but you're not anymore.
No.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I
You've
used
shed that. You've shed. You
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
and like
What?
now
That
today,
scar-
like
what
We'll
is
go
it,
back
the
to that.
scarlet letter?
Is that
The scarlet letter of
nasty? What do you
Instagram.
mean? Like, I mean, because
I'm not
you
an-
used it, but now you feel like somehow it's taken on another.
Yeah,
it's taken on
think,
another
yeah.
like dated, like now you say like TikTok stars or Instagram models or
Okay.
things like that, and I don't really see myself as that.
that,
I'm
right.
grateful for the platform.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it I used it for the benefit, but even now, like, I hate Instagram. It gives me anxiety to post. I have people doing it for me. Like, I just want.
I think it's
hate
an
it.
amazing tool
Yeah.
that you've been able to use to transcend,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
To start acting. You've done I looked up last night. I mean, you've done upwards of a dozen cool projects.
Yeah,
right?
I've done a couple things. I'm still,
Well, you're still
working on it.
Yeah. Well, you're
building
young.
my
Yeah.
craft. But yeah, I was able to use that. I booked guests and then Carl's and then, was on a couple films, and then yeah, I'm super grateful for that commercial because
It started.
it started the whole thing. So we all kind of need that
Yeah.
I
We
think a
need
lot
that.
of these kids, man, with the social now, and I'm sure you agree, it's like the social is the means to the end, right?
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
there's no vision. And I'm like,
I agree.
I go, what is this has-been culture going to look like in 10 years? When you are
God.
one of these TikTok kids, Instagram kids, in 10
Totally.
years where people are like, I don't give a fuck about you anymore.
Sad.
I want to see. I want to see a 45-year-old Taylor Holder do one of his dances.
It's scary.
That's what I mean. No,
But,
like the kids
yeah.
with the fights. Like, I don't know who those
Yeah.
kids are. Obviously, millions of people do. You know, I know the Paul brothers are. But the average person on this planet, I don't think, invests in those kids, right? Where are they taking
But
it
you're
to?
on, like, I've been on set with some of these kids or these models or something on, like, an actual thing, and they don't know how to treat people on set. They don't know how to be. They don't know the time that's put. They don't know how to be in real life.
Well, it's an
Right.
it's a
No.
pretty fucking obnoxious culture, right?
Oh,
I
it's
mean, some
horrible.
of the kids I've met, some of them are super sweet, man.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, granted, there's a ton of amazing, YouTubers
Yeah.
and
Right.
those
Right.
people, but there's also those asshole kids who make millions of dollars and have no idea what it takes to
Right.
make money,
Right.
Right.
kind of thing.
That's crazy.
And what's that? And how long's it gonna go?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Got to get on TikTok.
You're on it.
Yeah.
You're
No.
on it, or
I'm
you're off
on
it.
TikTok.
I'm off it. I don't.
Just in my Lambo, baby. Putting up videos.
Put it up.
How do you
Yeah.
feel about having 1 million followers? That's a lot of people watching your every move. So how do you feel about that, and how do you curate your page?
I used to just like I'm now at the point in my life where I just don't care, and like
Gotcha.
my agents and everyone are just like, post, no one, like, just keep doing it. But I've always been very particular and always kept it. I always keep my personal life on it. I've never shared a boyfriend. I've never shared, my family's really private. So I like to keep some mystery to my life, which is really hard to find.
Cool.
nowadays.
Let's open it all up right here.
Yeah, there you go.
Anywho.
Pack it all right.
yeah.
All right, let's
and
drop
that's
it
how
off.
we can sell the show. Just mysteries.
Yes.
Unsolved mysteries.
There you
Charlotte
go.
McKinney.
Yes.
We
But
should talk
yeah.
about the boyfriend. He's very talented.
Yeah,
I saw his
no.
artwork.
Yeah, he's super talented. We've been together now like 4 years, and
4 years and like it's still something you're not ready to go
wow.
public with. You'll go public with the divorce. That's what it'll
Yeah,
go
that's what
public
it all
with, the
means. Like,
custody battle.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
They
you
were
married.
married.
She's got 3 kids. Yeah.
We'll see a
I'll
post
be
of the
married.
documents.
No, I'll be married with like 12 kids following me. I'll be like, "What? Whose kids are those?" Like, I don't even know.
How many How many kids would you want? I know you would not really want 12.
I don't know. I think I want kids when I'm like 40 and it's too late. So then I'll just be
No,
over
that's
it.
you. You'll be fine. You gotta go the frozen egg.
Freeze. It seems like a hassle. I'm kind of over it. So we'll see. But yeah, super talented. And it made me really get into art and appreciate art and kind of get into that.
But
thing I didn't know about.
he does do body art, but he is an incredible visual artist because I've seen some of his stuff on his Instagram
Yeah,
page.
18 years of tattooing. He's really kind of gotten it down, and now he's just like focusing on the real arts.
Cool. I'm gonna have him tattoo my face like I'm a fucking TikTok kid.
Yeah.
Like I'm like little
Go
Pump or
viral.
little
Little
people, one
Pump.
of these kids.
Feel like it's the ice cream
I'm gonna go
cone.
fucking
or-
always fucking tired, like Post Malone
Yeah.
under there or something. Yeah.
That shit's
I'm
crazy.
just gonna pour champagne on my phone. That guy like just yeah, badass.
Fuck that shit.
dog.
Fuck that shit.
Dog.
No, I mean, there's
Stage, B.
I don't have a TikTok, but I sometimes occasionally when one of these trends on TikTok really blows up, I'll hear about it.
It like comes up on your Instagram.
Yeah, you just start to.
Yeah.
It
it's
just
yeah,
no
starts
matter
to
what
stalk
you do, it'll be
And
there.
That the feta cheese one, that was the
What
funniest
was
one.
that?
to me.
What
Feta
is it?
cheese.
Everywhere I go, everyone's putting a dish with a block of feta cheese in
Oh,
the middle
yeah.
and pouring tomatoes around it. And that everybody was eating that. Like, I went to Whole Foods, and there was this little saran wrap thing that said, it was a bunch of tomatoes and feta cheese, and it said TikTok dish.
Oh,
It was being
wow.
sold at-
But
That makes
But
me
what about the one
nauseous.
with
Like, just a
the
TikTok
mustard
hype?
and the watermelon?
Oh, I didn't see it.
The
That
what?
didn't blow up enough to get to me.
Like
but the feta one
mustard
did.
that you would put on a hot dog. They got this challenge now on like TikTok. You put mustard on a watermelon, and like people are eating it, and like
That's probably pretty fucking good.
no, everybody is saying
sounds grotesque.
everybody's saying it's the best shit. Like
No, it's
literally,
a little sweet, a little spicy.
everybody who posts this videos like
Throw a little
putting it in
horseradish on
Style
that
watermelon.
motherfucker.
Hey, what's up? Come here, get your Cody watermelon.
It's like it's a,
Nathan's watermelon.
Make them water dogs.
modern day Knish, man. You know.
Yeah, no, people fucking love it. And
Or they do, or I've seen they'll blindfold someone and have them put their hand in
the
like
watermelon, and you think it's
and then they show a dog.
Oh, yo, I saw that. That was hysterical.
That was hysterical.
But I think it's fake, but it's funny shit because her hand comes out the other end. She's like, okay, what am I doing? You see this shit?
Oh yeah,
I've seen
Yeah,
There's like brown chocolate.
People like,
That one's pretty. That one's pretty good.
Yeah. I saw the kid did it to his father with the one finger and the dog.
Oh yeah,
he did to daddy, and then he put the family dog on the table.
Sick.
The old man went fucking bananas.
You seem really like chill, like you really inside your skin. The thing about like models, I guess, you always feel like you guys have to do it young, and then you have to stay like with your foot on the gas. But somehow you had a very chill energy about it. Like all of it, you're happy, career is going well, but you don't feel like I gotta do it all right now.
Oh, I'm doing that in my head. You just don't see it.
No, she's pretty driven.
That's the
I could tell.
Okay, got you.
But no, like even right now, it's a really scary time. Like it was a year off of like just doing self tapes and sending in stuff and not knowing when anything was filming. I mean, it was just a weird. And now things are getting better, but. It's a really weird time, and we all have that like feeling in the industry of like, oh my gosh, is this over? Is and things like
Am I gonna get canceled?
Am I canceled?
Back?
What did I say?
Yeah.
What did you say?
Was I too handsy with some young model kid? I mean, all the things are coming back.
Well, we talked about it. We talked about Cedric with comedy, me with writing, expectations, the new world order. Things have changed a little bit.
Totally.
And some of it's good and some of it's not.
Yeah, and I mean, I grew up. Comedy was my favorite, Mad TV, SNL, and now I feel like I watch anything with comedy and it's just so vanilla and plain. It's just to me, comedy is poking fun at what's going on.
Yo, they do that. I can tell you, man, over the last 6
Yeah.
months, they've done some pretty fucking cool shit on SNL that shocks me.
Oh yeah, no.
Every once in a while, I'll look at it, I'll be like,
Elon
shit,
Musk
they really
was that was all that. Some of those things were kind of funny. And
But even the two dudes on the fucking nightly news were throwing these racial things back
Oh, yeah,
at
yeah,
each
yeah,
other.
yeah.
And
I
jokes
love
like
that.
he said this and he said that.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy fuck, they're going for it, man.
Yeah.
I
That
like
was
those
kind of
guys.
cool because it's a shit like we grew up with it. It really didn't.
Nobody
Nobody
can
was
do it.
sensitive, man. I
Oh,
grew up in
no.
a town. I was like a small portion of Jews in a place that most of the time I was just like, like Jew boy. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
that
wasn't
was your
like
name.
fucking,
Yeah, like it wasn't like
Yeah, it wasn't like the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
Right.
Although now,
change, baby.
I have feelings about it. Might sue
Now.
my elementary school. I might sue my elementary school.
But wait a minute. So how did this Carl's Jr. ad come about? Did they find you? Was it because of your social media? Because I know now a lot of brands are looking for and seeking out people who use social media in a way that they can gain more eyes on them.
They actually saw an interview I did with my first interview that was like on a thing. I don't know, it was horrible. But they saw it and they thought I was kind of funny and had wasn't just a model, had something else to me. And then it was the first time I never had to do a casting. They just booked me. So I just got kind of lucky with that. So.
It's amazing.
Wow.
But you do know in casting right now, it's never been like that on any of the shows I've done or been a part of, but they will look at a studio who has in terms of analytics.
Yeah.
Because they want that free marketing. They want
they
y'all
look
to
at
go,
followers. Yeah,
check
yeah,
me
yeah.
out on SVU tonight or whatever thing like that.
Is it a requirement to feel beautiful and be beautiful all the time? Do you feel like that pressure? Just to go to the store or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, in this day and age now with social media, everyone has a new
get caught out
face with the apps, and everyone can look perfect at all times.
Filters and everything,
Filters,
right? Yeah.
you see these people and you're like,
everybody's got a real new face in real life.
truly. But they do.
And then you throw a filter on top.
On top of that.
What is this alien?
No, I mean everybody. That's the other thing. What are you all gonna do when social media? Social media is not going anywhere, but you in social media is going to die down.
The lips,
right?
That's gonna get old.
That's what I'm saying. The whole Kardashian look,
It's gonna get
although
old.
It's hot. I get it, but what I'm saying is, it's gonna go out of style at some
Keep
point.
it old
Right.
school.
Yeah,
I've always been into traditional classics.
Classic beauty.
Right.
Classic
Right.
beauty.
Yeah, it's crazy to me when I look at that, when I see you know, like you said, you know, not knock. I'm friends with the Kardashian clan, Kanye, and all those guys, but
he's not part of the
I don't
fam
even think
anymore.
Kanye's not part
He's not in the fam anymore.
Why you make a choice?
Pick a side.
Pick a side.
Where your loyalties lie.
He's out bad.
But no, living in LA, the Kardashians really created a culture and a template for girls. When you go out, you in a restaurant or a nightclub, you see 5 Kardashians that are not Kardashians.
Oh, 100%.
It's
They
crazy.
It's like,
Yeah, but don't you kind of just know when you see it? Aren't you like, I know what that is?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
yeah, it's pretty. And I feel like even, you know, I've always been insecure about my nose and always wanted to get my nose done. And then I was like, well, then I'll just have the same nose as everyone in the town because they all go to the same doctor.
Yeah.
So everyone has the same perfect nose. So I find something.
Your nose is perfect. You're fine.
A little piggy. But yeah, it's
I love pork.
Yeah, that's what's cool about you. She's got all these films. I saw the last one, the most recent, I think, is Phobia. Is that? 'Cause that's the one that's coming out.
Yeah, I'm in there for like a second. But it was Macy Gray was in that movie.
And she was on.
She was on last week.
Oh no way!
Yeah.
Macy's
how
awesome, man.
she's
Yeah.
great. I didn't get to really like. I definitely wanted to give her space and
Yeah.
respect her, so I wasn't like talking to her or anything. But to see her,
Why would you say something disrespectful? if you
No,
were in
no.
her space?
I'm quiet. I don't like to talk.
Your hair?
Macy, I really wanted to touch her hair.
Yo,
She was
she's
in her
so
zone
good.
though. Like she was in a zone. Like she was being called
she's
by
really
the
good?
character.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
she
Oh,
was.
really?
She's
She
like
was
that.
like method acting. So I was like,
When I direct,
direct,
I don't like to be called by my name. I like to be called director.
Director.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Of
I'm like
course.
director, and I'm like yes. I have
Yes.
a whole different look. If you saw me, I look like Cedric when I'm directing.
Yeah.
I have a shirt buttoned up,
The hat.
like a hat,
So
like
serious.
bifocals.
Yeah.
Nah,
Bifocal. Who says bifocal?
Where you look that? Where you look over your
Director.
glasses. You always look over your glasses.
1892.
No, I have a monocle. I have a monocle.
Can you pass me
As I'm
my
looking at the
bifocals
film,
there?
I'm looking at the film frames. Like this
Thank
with
you,
the
My
monocle.
bofo is next to the aluminium.
No, but I saw the phobias and I was like, oh, that's a cool fucking question. What are your phobias? I know you gotta have phobias. Maybe you don't.
I don't know. I feel like I guess my phobias are like dying, but I also am like, okay, like I have acknowledged dying. So like I don't.
You've accepted it.
I've accepted it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
But you're only like, aren't you like 27? No, you're like a kid.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like everything that's meant to be is kind of gonna happen, and there's
Right.
nothing we can really
It
do
is
about
true.
it.
It is
you know,
right now,
stressing
because-
out about something like me screaming about dying in an airplane, like I'm dying in an airplane. That didn't sound good.
So you know, but do you like? So do you like to fly?
This is not.
Yeah, but it's not my like.
It's very nice.
Like the phobia.
Polished. It's clean. Yeah.
I believe it's Italian.
Sturdy. It's sturdy.
But not gonna say.
Yeah.
You don't like to fly, but you understand it's a necessary thing to do to get to things you do like.
You know
Like
what?
being a Cabo Tago for the perfect pay.
But you're
Gotta get the shot.
Classic beauty.
Shot.
You're pretty enough. You can always take the train. you have the style to be like on the train with the cart. You know what, darling? I don't fly anymore.
I mean, phobia. Like, what is your phobia, Rob? Like, what would you say?
My
like,
phobias have definitely dwindled as
Right?
I've gotten older because
Yeah.
I am closer to death and I do accept it
Yeah.
and I am less scared of it. And I think the more friends you lose, the more you start to realize there might be some cool shit going on somewhere else.
You're like, I
anyway.
kind of want to join the
There you go,
club.
But my
seems
kid,
a
my
lot
kid
better.
makes me want to live forever. That's the
Of
truth.
course.
And I said it, like I'll say to people, I go, look, I have my kid in my late 40s. I'm like, if my kid's a stellar human, yeah, I did it late. If my kid like grows up perfect, I could afford to die younger. If he's not, I got to stick around to make sure he gets on the right fucking track. But
Of course.
I mean, that's probably most of my phobias involve my son and like making sure
1,000%.
he's okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
like
that's
he'll
a
look at me
big
and go,
part.
"Yeah, I was in Laguna with mom all weekend. I got hit with waves. I'm going under." And I'm like, "Bro, that's not cool, man. You need to like chill the fuck out." You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Pump
He's
the
like 5
brakes.
years old, so
Also,
you did,
yeah.
you
Side
did the
note.
video with him.
Side
yes.
note. I got to work with Rob's son.
Yeah, that's right, you guys are
Carlo. And
co-stars.
by the way, Carlo is kind of the sickest name. Love that name.
Yeah.
My My
my
cousin's
dad's
Carlo.
name was Carl. He passed away, and I didn't want to saddle my kid with the name Carl. And
Carlo is so rad.
Hitting 2020. Yeah.
It reminds me of like a
Carl.
Be a
I wanted
21-year-old
to-
Carl.
so
Yeah.
really. So, and his mom is Mexican and Cuban.
Okay.
Right? She's
Oh, that's great,
Latina.
man.
So, you know, and I wanted to give him a flair, right? Like, and her grandfather's name was Miguel, and he passed away. So, really, my intention was to name my son Carlo Miguel Medeiros Weiss.
Why didn't you?
So I said to her, and she didn't, because she felt he sounded like a landscaper, Carlo Miguel. But I said, well, I could say it because she could say it because she was Mexican. That was
Yeah.
her thought.
Or like a
Was it my
little
thought?
drug runner.
I wanted my kid
Yeah,
to have
drug runner.
swag and to be able to go up to somebody and go, I'm Carlo Miguel. Like, I just thought that was cool. And then
That's
have
fly.
a Jewish last name to just throw in there.
But I think
Yes.
Weiss.
Yeah,
Weiss.
Weiss.
Carlo Miguel Weiss,
Out of
Medeiros
left
Weiss.
field.
Yeah, man.
but meeting him, that's the vibe I got. Like he was like this little like rad little
swaggy,
cool
yeah.
like
Yeah, his mom's
has
swaggy,
swag.
cool, you know.
He gets
his
it.
old man's not so bad. You know,
Yeah.
he's got a little fucking swag.
He's
you
definitely got a lot of swag.
Totally.
And we are back.
Yes.
Amazing episode today. Today
Lot
was
of fun.
really fun.
That
We'd like
was
to
a blast.
thank the
know. I think we got
amazing...
some really good lessons out of today too. Mixing
We
it
learned a
together,
lot.
Definitely.
Yeah.
letting people come and
Definitely.
go, use the bathroom, make their
Yeah.
business calls, pop back
what we're
in.
doing. That's
It's
what
like
we're
a-
doing.
it's a
Very Hollywood.
revolving
Yeah.
door.
Real life shit.
Yeah, real life, man. Good
all
vibes.
they
So,
want.
you know, our partners in the show, our sponsors in the show are Mercari. They are an amazing online marketplace.
Amazing.
And we are doing a shop with them where
Okay.
our guests are donating something. Proceeds go to the Children's Hospital of LA. So,
Amazing.
what do you feel like throwing on the Cray shop on Mercari?
Well,
She's actually got something cool planned.
I was
Yes.
as much as I was trying to get away from Carl's, I still have my classic Carl's Jr. hats, and they're very valuable.
Yo, that would be
That's
awesome.
sick.
The
So I'll
Carl's
sign the
Jr.
back.
OG.
I might actually
herself.
buy
Yeah.
that. How
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm gonna-
if I buy
That's
Can
sick.
you sign it? Can you
Of
sign
course,
There we
you
go.
Yo, I
have
was
to have
thinking
it
is
signed.
if I
That
show up
would
with the
be
Carl's
cool.
Jr., is it a trucker cap?
Maybe.
Yo, these
but
might be
I
gone,
actually
bro.
may no. It may be like the ones
This
that
might be
people
gone.
If you
order.
jump
might
on,
not
if you
even
jump
make it
on the
to the
Cray
shop.
Might
Mercari
have some
store
bidders. You might
and
have
it
some
says
bidders
sold
right here.
out, just know it was probably
might
one of
have
us.
one.
Yeah.
It's probably one of us.
Well,
we
that's
appreciate
amazing
you,
you guys do
Charlotte.
that.
Thank you so much,
Definitely want you to
Charlotte.
come back sometime.
No,
Thank you.
Definitely.
Thank you to Cedric,
Yes.
who had to split.
Yes.
And hopefully we'll be back again as well.
Absolutely.
For another episode of The Cray.
Cray.
The Cray, I dig it.
The Cray.
Yes.
Cray.
The Cray.